Happy
Hello.
Thursday. So no, it's Wednesday, right? What day?
Wednesday.
Okay. Anyways, thank you, Vicky, for being here today. I am so excited to interview you today because you have such a story to share with people that can help others that are struggling, like we have in our past with, what we call insulin resistance. I didn't even know what that was, but the belly
Mhm.
fat, you if you're struggling with belly fat, you have to hang tight. Wait till you hear Vicky's story. If you're struggling with belly fat, if you are a constant snacker, if you're someone that, is tired after eating and want to crash on the couch, if you have skin tag, we're going to cover this today. Anyway, so Vicky, I'm so happy I've met you. She was a stranger to me. I didn't know her, but through a friend of a friend through Facebook, we became connected, and the world needs to hear about you. So why don't you tell everybody who you are and where you're from?
Okay, I can do that. I'm Vicki Lowen, and I'm from Havre, Montana, which is 40 miles south of the Canadian border in north central Montana, where it's usually always cold. It's more cold than it is hot, but then in the summertime, it's more hot than it is in places that you would think would be hot. So it's kind of crazy. But anyway, I've been here. I've lived in this area all my life. And I lived in a smaller town and out on a farm. I was born and raised, and then I moved to Havre, and I've been in Havre probably 50 years now. So
Wonderful.
yeah.
And you tell us a little bit about how you were struggling with your health because you had some traumatic things that you've gone through over the last couple of years that put you in a place where your metabolic health failed you. So why don't you tell us a little bit how you got there?
Well, okay, I'd be happy to do that. So, just real short, I lost my mom and my husband within 10 months of each other. Mom was 92 and a half years young because she had her mind and everything all the way to the end. And then I lost my hubby to a motorcycle accident 10 months later, unexpectedly, of course. Horrible, horrible. And
I
my
can't
whole
even
life,
imagine. I can't
yeah,
even
my whole
imagine.
life just went down the road, down the tube. I struggled with weight loss off and on. I was on a roller coaster after I hit 45. Was one of those people that says, "Oh, you can eat whatever you want. You never gain weight." Well, that happens and then all of a sudden menopause hits, I guess is what it is. And well, now I'm thinking, maybe it was insulin resistance that I didn't know about. But after the grief really hit me hard and I gained more weight, and people would tell me, "Oh, you'll lose weight with the grief." And while Vicky didn't lose weight, I gained weight, and I was very miserable and not happy in my own skin. And I didn't know what I was going to do. I was depressed, thankful for my mental health therapist that I worked with. So,
Well, you're mentioning about you weren't happy with yourself. Sometimes people say, "Oh, you look great," but it's how you feel inside. I had the same thing. I had lost my mom. Well, first I was going through a divorce at the same time, and no divorce is nice. But
yeah.
at the same time, while that was happening, my mom had, she was type 2 diabetic. My grandma died from type 2 diabetes. And I just
Um,
thought it runs in the family.
mhm,
I did not understand that this is lifestyle related, totally
mhm.
100%. So my mom's had type 2 diabetes too then, and she started getting psoriasis. She got the shingles, all that
Ooh.
stuff. I know. And then all of a sudden she goes to the doctor. She wasn't feeling well. This is right after she had the shingles, and they diagnosed her with colon cancer,
Oh,
stage
I'm sorry.
4. Yeah.
My
So I
grandma
can
had that
relate to
too.
you. Yeah, I can relate when
Yeah.
you feel so helpless. Anybody that's known someone, family member or friend that's had cancer, it's a horrible diagnosis. And so I ended up being her caretaker while it took a toll on my health too.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
blew up. I
And
put
that
on a
was,
weight I'd never had, you know?
yeah, and that
But
was where I was at too, because prior to losing my hubby, I was a caretaker for my mom. She, like I said, lived by herself up until the last few months of her life. And and I was there for her for everything. And I wasn't taking care of me. And that was, so I think that weight loss or excuse me, the weight gain started even before that. But it just was that roller coaster of not being healthy in my own body, not just with the weight, but just in general health. I think that took its toll and that activated things to even make
get
the weight
worse.
gain get
Yep.
worse.
The
Exactly.
the stress, the
Oh,
anxiety you go
yep.
through. And then all of a sudden, you're in this place where you don't know how to fight this, even if you're not eating. I tell you, I wasn't eating much. I was dieting constantly. I was snacking a lot, but
Mhm.
it was just a vicious circle. And when you mentioned that part about not feeling good about you, I know, you go shopping at the store and you buy a new outfit for something, and it looks like you look in the mirror and you go, no, I can't do this. And then you go home and you do bad things,
Oh,
you don't.
exactly, exactly. Well, I was to the point before, before this even happened, I was to the point that I was struggling with my weight loss that I was too embarrassed to go to family events. I would come up with an excuse not to go just because I was too embarrassed for people to see what I look like. Because
Do you have a picture of yourself that can we share? Do you have it there? Do you want me to pull it up?
why don't you just pull it up if you
Okay, hold
can?
on a
Is that
second. Yeah, I'm
okay?
gonna pull it up. Yep.
Yeah, just pull it up. And
Thank you for sharing these pictures with me because I really think it's important for people to see what we're talking about here. Can you see that?
no, yeah, it's there it is. Yep. So that was
So,
me. So that was me in May of 23. So that would have been like 10 months after I lost my hubby in the
oh,
blue dress. And so, like I said, that was when I was really feeling at my lowest point in my life. And then I started on the protocol, and that was me in November. And the one in the black was me a year ago in it'll been July of 24 is what that picture of me in the black was. So I had lost a little bit, but not much, in those pictures. You can't, how I was dressed. But like I said, I'm just feeling so much better now that I figure out what insulin resistance is and that there is some
yeah.
way to take care of it. And it's a metabolic health issue.
So how did you
I
find out about this? Tell me how you found out because we didn't know each other, or else I would have told you. But how did you find
exactly.
out about this?
Well, I'm on Facebook and I'd met this gal years ago in another company and I hadn't seen any traction of hers on Facebook at all. And all of a sudden one day it just popped up on my feed and I thought, oh my gosh, that's Carolyn? And I mean, she's 76 years old and she wouldn't mind me saying that. I'm 69 going on 70 this summer. So
You don't look it.
and so anyhow, so I saw her picture and I thought, what are you doing? So I thought, well, I haven't talked to her in forever, but you know what? I'm
Mhm.
not bashful. I'm going to reach out to her. So I messaged her and said, what are you doing? And bless her heart, she got a hold of me right away and she told me what she was doing. And she says she didn't know she was insulin resistant. And I says, well, what is insulin resistance? I had no clue. And so
Me
she
neither.
went on to explain it. And then she got my number and we started talking. And the next thing I know, she was calling Monica, calling you. And so to have you explain everything to me, and that's how I found out about it. And it's been life-changing and the best thing I've ever done. I said, I've never had so much energy and I've never met such wonderful people.
I hear you. And for anybody that's watching, if you have any questions, you can DM us, chat with us. But I wanted to tell you, insulin resistance, like you said, you didn't know what it was. I did not know what it was either.
Mm-mm.
I'm going to share a quick picture of what it looks like because if you're struggling with things like belly fat, if you're struggling with cravings all the time, and just I want you to take a minute. We won't spend too much time on this, but just take a minute to look at some of these signs of insulin resistance for some of us that didn't know. We think it's our fault. And we start beating ourselves up. We go and blame it on that we're getting older. We blame it on our metabolism and everything. There's much more involved with this. It's about our food environment is messing us up. Everything's modified. Everything is like processed. You know what I'm saying? And so we start having these symptoms and belly fat, high cholesterol, fatty liver, skin tags. Usually it shows up on your skin first. So take a look at this and really kind of maybe think about how many of these things you're experiencing because
Well,
we did not know about this.
well, I personally look at that list and I probably had 14 out of those signs on that list on the right-hand side there. It was like, holy cow, actually. And
Yeah.
yeah, and not
And
knowing that what was wrong. I mean, I knew I had pre-diabetes. I was told that, and I don't have pre-diabetes anymore.
yeah, and we found something that's incredible out there. It is something, I only have one packet here, but we have two things that we use.
I
You can
have
hold
it.
it up. We're sipping on one of these right now, okay? This is a wonderful, thank you. It comes from the Unamate plant, and it's from South America. But what they do, this company, what they did is they purified it, they took the best components out of it. And this helps with cravings. It helps when you're giving your body a break from foods, from in a fasted state. It makes it so you're not hungry, it gives you energy, it makes your brain feel better. One of the things that shocked me about this, and I'm so thankful I found this, is because when my friend introduced me to this, he told me that this increases your natural GLP-1 by 67%.
Yeah, that blew
And
me away.
me too. Like, how many people are on these shots right now?
Mhm.
There's
Yes,
side
I know
effects to
several.
those.
I know, and I personally was on them for 3 months, and I'm not kidding you. I felt horrible. I
Which one
felt
were you using? What
I
were
did
you
the
using?
I did tirzepatide.
Mhm.
And I did that for 3 months before I started this protocol. A year before I started this protocol, not quite a year before I started this protocol, I had did the tirzepatide because my son was getting married in December and I had to get some of this weight off. So I thought, okay, what am I going to do? I was panicking,
Yeah.
and so I started on that and I had heartburn and I had acid reflux. It was nasty. And I finally said, I can't do this anymore. So,
Yeah, we get desperate.
and
You
I
know, I
was.
talked to, yeah, and I talked to a woman this morning. I was actually doing an educational live on TikTok, and she ended up calling me right away. And she told me her story, and she's taking the shots right now, and she feels horrible.
Mm,
She's nauseous all
yep.
the time. So we have a solution here that we found, and we're sharing it here today because we want to give you an option that you can do something that's not a pharmaceutical. It's a nutraceutical. It's natural. Anybody can use it. All you do is sip on this tea, or you can drink it hot or cold. Comes in different flavors while you're fasting. Makes fasting easy. You're gonna ramp up your fat burning on your body. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And not have to worry about snacking all the time. It makes it easy. And then the second thing is this fiber. You
Right.
know, we don't get enough fiber in our diets. Our foods are modified, they're processed. Fiber's been taken out. So this one you just take right before you eat. Mix it with 4 to 6 ounces of water, chug it like a beer. I always say chug it like a beer, and then eat normal. You're not going to diet on this or count calories. So, what have you found the easiest with this protocol?
Oh, I don't have to worry about what I'm going to eat. Truly, I know what I need to come off off my fasting with now. I never knew honestly, I didn't know how intermittent fasting truly worked and why
Me neither.
people would do it. So
Mhm.
I've learned all of that. But I find the easiest is, I don't have the snacks and cravings and I'm not constantly wanting to eat. And I get up in the morning, I drink my first mate in the morning and sip on that through the morning and I'm good till lunchtime. And sometimes I even go longer than lunchtime. And if I'm busy, I don't think about food. I just keep on going and I know that I'm getting nutrition because there's nutrition in it. So that's what
It
I find is easy. And then having that balance right before I have something to eat, it just
it
makes me feel
makes
good.
you feel fuller,
That's
and
just what I was going to
it
say.
gets rid of the food noise.
It makes me feel full. And just like today, I went for lunch with a friend and I had it before I went because I was wanting to try something new at this new restaurant. And I did. And I didn't have any guilt about it when I ate because I knew what it was doing to help me. So,
Yeah, and if all of us that have been struggling, I mean, if you're over 50 or over 40, you've been on diet your whole life.
hmm.
I know I was. I
Yep.
never, well, I'll show my before picture in a minute, but I'm very active. I'm a runner, so I never ever put on a lot of weight, but I was constantly dieting and I'm so tired. I was so tired of this. So this has gotten rid of the food noise. I call this my liquid willpower in a bottle. I don't have snacking cravings, and I'll share my picture, what I looked like before I got started on this protocol. It's really hard to share these kind of pictures, but I'm going to
But
share it
boy,
right
they're a
now.
blessing to have now. I really appreciate having those pictures. You don't want people to see you looking like that, but I'm glad
No,
I
I
have them
don't want to
now.
look at it. People say this doesn't even look like you.
It doesn't look like you at all.
But this was me before I got on the protocol when my
Wow.
friend called me. I didn't have these two tools, simple tools. So 90 days later, just by drinking this tea twice a day and taking the fiber before my biggest meal, I went from this inflamed person to this.
It's
And
amazing.
that was 3.5 years ago. I have food freedom now. I don't count calories. I don't diet. I'm 65 now. I feel better than I did a long time ago. I mean,
You
most of my
look
life, the
amazing.
energy. Well,
Yep.
thank you. And I'm going to share your picture real quick again, too, because you have transformed. Here you are.
Yeah, and I feel so much better. I'm not kidding. It's been a really big lifestyle change for me. I love it that I'm getting to get rid of old clothes and I'm finding new clothes in my closet that were old clothes that now fit. And it's just been like I said, it's life changing and it is the easiest thing I've ever done. And knowing that I have hope again and I don't have to work hard at it. I purposely did not exercise while I started on this protocol because I wanted to see if it truly even worked without exercise, and it did. And so now I'm ready to start working out and getting my body toned again.
So tell me your time frame. When did you start this, and how fast did it go for you to lose this 29 pounds?
Okay, I started the protocol April 24th of 2025. My first 90 days, I was down 16 pounds and 9.5 inches. And when I say the inches, it's 4 different areas that we measure. So it's not all the different, some people measure more than those areas. So that's why it doesn't sound like a lot, but it was 9.5 inches.
Mm,
And in that picture there, I was down 25 pounds and now I'm down a total of 29 pounds. And it'll be a year, April 24th, that I started. And I am down over 14.5 inches now.
that's incredible.
hmm And like I said,
That's
and I
very
feel
incredible.
good. It just feels, it's fun because I feel good. I have energy. I don't feel sluggish and, just sluggish and tired anymore. I'm good to go.
I always say I wish I would have found out about this much earlier, but it wasn't available much earlier in my life. But better late than never.
Better late than
Um,
never. We'll take it, right? No,
yeah, and
the tools, and it's so simple. Like I said, it's so, so easy. And I love it that I don't have to count calories. I don't have to write down what I eat. I don't have to count macros. It's just super easy. And I know it's healthy nutrition for my body. And another beauty of it, that there's a 90-day money back guarantee. Well, I
oh
didn't
yeah,
have to use that. I get to because I'm a lifer. So there's no me turning back on this one. So
it's a great point though. This protocol, first of all, the company, and if you're interested in getting it, make sure you private message us. But this company is right now in 63 countries. They offer a 90-day money back guarantee all around the world. So when I heard about this, I said, I have nothing to lose, everything to gain, because all the money I've spent on gyms, on shakes I've bought, on food I had delivered to my house. I mean, I can just go on and on and on. No one ever said to 90 days. So that got me because I knew I had 90 days to try it. So this is something that's natural, it's easy, you have nothing to lose, everything to gain, and just we have the same discount that we get, we can share it with you with the link. So you can pick your own flavors, everything. It's easy. That's all I
it's
have to say.
beautiful. It's beautiful. And we're here to help you. We're here to help and, give you support. You're not doing it on your own.
Yeah, the company actually gives you that fasting app we talked about, and they also we have a support group on Facebook that you can join where we've got, I think there's what 2,000 people on it
I think
that
so. Something like that.
that are using this
Yeah.
protocol in this support group. And every single Tuesday, we have a science call with medical professionals. And they come on and they teach us about insulin resistance. I was blown away last night. We had a gal on there talking about fatty liver.
That was crazy. It was
I
so
know,
good.
and
So
she
good.
she did such a good explanation. I learned so much. So we do like they do these every Tuesday. And yesterday, I don't know if you noticed, if you were on it, there was like 700 people. It's
Oh,
open to the public.
yeah, it's
So
crazy. And then it's on there. We were on the live Zoom, but then that's streamed on Facebook. So who knows how many people got to see it then. But if people
exactly.
miss that call, what I like about this, we can send them the replay.
You're right.
So that's really nice. If for some reason they miss a call, we always got that replay available and it's wonderful. I love it. So
Yep. Thank you. It's all about education. We need to get the word out about this because too many people are suffering with side effects and getting on things that are pharmaceuticals, not nutraceuticals. This is food. Anybody can use it. We have kids as young as 9 years old that already had been diagnosed with fatty liver. Think about that for a minute.
Yeah.
They're not
That's
drinking
scary.
alcohol.
No,
It's
no.
not from that. It's from
It's
our food environment.
Yeah, and our food environment is really, I mean, just thinking about it, when I think back of what I was feeding my kids at first and then transitioned into more cold cereal and that kind of stuff, I'm thinking, oh, I was a bad mom. I was feeding my kids horribly, and I
I
was
give
really,
my I give my kids orange juice and apple juice in the morning.
I know.
That's like drinking pure sugar. The fiber's been removed. I never
Oh,
knew that. I feel
well, I
horrible as a mom.
I know, and I know people who gave their kids that bottle of juice just to go to bed, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, you're giving them real sugar, total
No
sugar.
wonder we've got all these hyper kids nowadays. It's
Hmm.
like it explains it, right?
It does. It sure
Anyways.
does.
Well, Vicky, I am so thankful that you took the time out of your busy day all the way from Montana to
You
come
bet.
and talk with us. But what you have experienced has to be heard. And I'm really thankful that you've shared it, and make sure you private message us. We're here to help you.
We're here for you. And Monica, I can't thank you enough for all your support and all that you're helping and teaching me. It's been wonderful.
Well, it's nice to have a new friend in Montana, I must say.
Thank you.
If I don't hear from you, I always go, oh, there's my friend. Where is she? So
And
thank
feelings
you.
mutual.
Thank you so much. I
You're most
appreciate you.
welcome. I
Everybody
appreciate
have a
you
great
too.
day, evening, and make sure you get with us.
Yeah. Have a good one. Bye.